Okay, so have you understood this case? Right? What happened there? Shreyas is the owner of the shares. Mr. Matru stole the shares worth of rupees 5 crores, downloaded the transfer form, and he forged the signature of Shreyas, who is nothing but transferor in this case. After then he sold the same shares to Mr. Pars by downloading another SH4. And when Mr. Shreyas comes to know that his shares, he's not getting any benefits. When he went to the company, company just tells that sorry, shares are with Mr. Pars, who obtained from Mr. Matru, who obtained from you. But Shreyas' allegation was like he didn't transfer the shares to anyone. How come company can give it to anybody else? So this is the case of the forged transfer. Another question what I gave is like, you demanded 50 lakhs rupees from father, father denied. So you stole his check leaf and forged the signature and withdrew 50 lakhs rupees from father's bank account. Bank actually released the amount. After getting the cash, you just runs away. The point is when father got to know about this, he went to the bank explained that your son came with your own signature on the check. We have done nothing wrong in that. You had the balance, signature is matching. What's the wrong in this? And that is why the bank released the 50 lakhs rupees in favor. Still, father files the suit on the bank to get restored those 50 lakhs rupees. So, what will happen in this case? That was my doubt. Okay, I do not want to stretch this thing a lot. Let's understand, guys, the doctrine of forgery. Doctrine of principle of forgery. Look, principle of forgery depends upon one technical issue. According to the law, okay, not according to the law, let's understand. According to the cricket, there are two types of balls: dead ball, active ball. Which ball hits the stumps will make the player out? Active ball. If it is a dead ball and hits the stump, then player is not out. The same way, guys, when I speak about the law, we have the two types of documents: active document and the second one is dead document. Active documents means enforceable by law. That means law and the court of this country will consider them as the valid document. And dead documents are those documents court will not consider them as valid. Do you get me what I'm trying to say? Even if you're shouting a lot, but those documents would be nothing but a piece of paper and rubbish in the eyes of court. When any paper, any document becomes the enforceable in the eyes of law, when it is signed by the authorized person, when it is signed by the authorized person. If it is signed by anyone who is not authorized to sign the document, that document is not legal in the eyes of law. It is just like a dead document, just like unenforceable, not enforceable in the eyes of law. So you tell me one thing, what is check? In this example, what is check? So let me tell you what a check is. Not a piece of paper. Check becomes check when it is signed by the authorized person. Any check without the signature is not a check, it is just a check leaf. एक चेक लीफ है, चेक नहीं है. चेक एक्टिव कब बनेगा? चेक becomes enforceable instrument only if it is signed by the maker, signed by the authorized person. So in this case, you tell me, guys, banks are allowed to give the cash on the check or check leaf? Okay. Signature was done by the authorized person or it was done by the unauthorized person? Unauthorized person. So is it a check or check leaf? So bank has given the money on check or check leaf, which is against the RBI guidelines. And therefore, guys, answer to this question is very shocking. Bank is guilty, and the Supreme Court of this country ordered the bank to restore the amount. There were two arguments. We are humans and not superhumans, not experts. How can we differentiate two signature? We need the experts for that. Because the son was so damn talented, he could ditto to ditto copy his father's signature. So bank officers compared with the computer, but they couldn't find any doubt on that. So Supreme Court commented on that, that okay, fine, if your normal human eyes cannot identify this, why don't you hire the expert? Why don't you hire the expert per branch? By the way, banks are earning a lot of money. Just because you want to save your cost, we cannot punish the public. You surrender 50 lakhs back to the father. It is a forgery along with the fraud. So code allows the bank to file the suit on the son. If he got found, recover the amount. Otherwise, you do not have right to harass. If means like he knows about what his son is doing, then he is also part of the fraud. He won't get any. I would say justice. One of the primary criteria to get the justice is you yourself should be innocent. So when you actively knows that fact that your son is doing like this, you are part to the fraud. You're not party to the victim. You are part of the fraud. Not only you won't get any remedy, on the top of that, under section 420 of the Indian Penal Code, you may go to the jail for the maximum 7 years. Make sense? So when you know, then the story is different. But did you understand? So today, guys, if there is a forged check and bank has paid the money on that, bank is liable to the original owner or not? Bank is liable to the original owner or not? Answer to that question is absolutely yes, bank is liable for that. So the principle what applied, why okay, again guys, what was the main logic behind this decision? Active document, inactive document, enforceable document, unenforceable. You tell me one thing, company is under obligation to allow the transfer on share transfer instrument or any random rubbish paper. Instrument, when share transfer form becomes the instrument, when it is duly signed by both the parties along with stamp. Guys, is there proper signatures of both the parties? No. So this is not transfer instrument. It is just transfer template. Are yes or no? Just a piece of paper. And company acted upon that. So will company win the case or he will lose the case? Guys, answer to this question is company will lose the case, guys. Why? Company allowed the transfer on the document which is not enforceable under the eyes of law. So yes, answer to this question is company must have to restore the shares back to Mr. Shreyas. But guys, end of the first question will raise the another question. How come if Shreyas obtained all his 5 crore rupees shares back, it is unfair to whom? Paris, because he innocently bought the shares in good faith. Then what to do? Now Paris goes to the company and said, why we took the transfer, we got the shares on your consent, on your approval. You approved, therefore I become the shareholder. You cannot suddenly come and just take my shares away. And company says, sorry, it is the court's order, we are helpless. So now Paris files the case on the company. The company ये सोचेगा सुबह किसका मुंह देखा था, केस पे केस आ रहा है. Matter got escalated to the court now. So now guys, second question over here is company versus Paras, who will win the case? Company versus Paras, who will win the case? You tell me guys, at the end of the day, this blunder happened because of whose mistake? No doubt Mr. Matru. But can I say company is also involved because it was careless? You should have some protocol. High company law is giving you 30 days if you are a private company and 60 days if you are a public company for the investigation and the inquiry. So what have you done during those 30 and 60 days? भजन गाए क्या आप लोगों ने? किया क्या? इंक्वायरी का टाइम दिया था आपको, आपने एक सिग्नेचर मैच नहीं किया. And if you had a doubt, at least you could have called Shreyas. Bhai, I got the application. Are you fine? 5 crore rupees. 5 crore rupees. Randomly you can't. So guys, again, Mr. Paras is suffering because of the sins of company. But the answer to this question is Mr. Paras will win the case. And again, guys, now the company is at the back foot. So now giving the same shares is not possible because each and every share is uniquely numbered. You know that? And I would say increasing the number of shares means the issue of the further share capital, which is not allowed until you follow the section 62 special resolution. So here, giving the same shares are not possible because already it is owned by Mr. Shreyas. But whatever loss Mr. Paras has suffered here, company needs to compensate. Okay, are these two questions clear? Treatment wise, Sparsh. So what is the answer of the first question? Company has to surrender the shares to back to restore the shares back to Mr. Shreyas. Paras is losing some losses because of that. Company needs to compensate Paras also because of his approval. Its approval, Paras obtained the shares. Third question is, can company file case on Matru? So guys, that is what only company can do. File the suit on Matru. If he could get caught, try to recover your losses from him. Otherwise, in the above two questions, company is at back foot. Anything like to the extent of he becomes insolvent. Because once he is declared as insolvent and he has nothing to be recovered, then you can't do. So whatever losses are there, company has to bear it alone. So once the person has become the insolvent, you can't extract him more. Am I clear? Okay. So that is all about, I would say, section 57, which is talking about impersonation of the shareholder, personation of the shareholder, and forged endorsement. Am I clear? Students, am I clear? All right, bachcha. So that's all about the transfer and transmission chapter. ठीक है अलॉटमेंट कर लेते हैं उसके बाद ये खत्म वो तीन सेक्शन बाकी है ना 39 40 एंड 41 ठीक है डिवेंचर बाद में लेंगे वो उसको मैं अलग से करवाऊंगा अभी थोड़ा जनरल मीटिंग जैसे सेक्शंस डालते हैं उसमें ज़्यादा सही रहेगी ठीक है